I'd like to put on what we call sustainable media. Now, when I say media, just to give you an idea here, we're talking about advertising campaigns or videos that you put on social media, that you may put on your website, that you may be on television, on billboards, those sorts of things. Okay, your digital media. That also has a carbon footprint. Now, one single campaign could have up to 322 tons of CO2. You cannot control where your media is viewed. Now, given the viral nature of the internet, it's kind of everyone's aim is to make it shareable. You want as many eyes on it as possible. Those people who are viewing in India and China are creating a much larger carbon footprint than someone viewing it in Iceland. And you can't control where that media is seen. So what we are saying here is that you need to consider the sustainable aspect of your media before you put it out there to the world, okay? So this is why you should consider the size of your digital media. Let's Shrink and Digital, we are content creators, of course, and we consider sustainable, that is at the heart of everything that we create. And I'll show you now the benefits why we believe you should be doing this. So first of all, when I'm talking about smaller data sizes, to be clear, we are not talking about grainy images. There is no visual degradation of the image or of the video. So your clients, the people viewing it, will not know the difference. You're going to still be showing off your brand in the best possible light. It's just in a more energy efficient way and in a smaller data size. It's what we call lossless compression. Now, by having smaller media, by having smaller potential, things like public messaging and things such as that, you're able to overcome this term which we call, data poverty. Now, those of you working within, the EDI sector of your business, you're very keen to make sure that your message is not excluded from any demographics of society. By having large files, by having large videos, by having messages in these large files, you are excluding certain demographics, and generally those who are mobile users, who possibly have data plans. And so what we are saying is, by reducing the digital footprint of your media, you are actually allowing many more people to see it. Now, the benefits from that, of course, like I mentioned, you don't know where it's being seen. Great example of this from Shrinker's point of view is that we created some content for COVID. It was shared over 40,000 times in India. And like I mentioned, the carbon footprint of the energy grid in India is much larger. And fortunately, we had considered the size of videos beforehand. So the carbon footprint of our media was much smaller than if we hadn't considered the size of our files. Okay, that's what I mean by downstream benefits. And of course, a little bit like the data poverty argument, by having smaller files, you're allowing people to share it. Now, whether that's through email, which obviously we don't recommend, as I've mentioned before, but if you're to use, if you are to use email, if you have no other way, then there's a 25 megabyte limit. Now, by having smaller files, it allows for more sharing. WhatsApp on the desktop was limited to 64 meg. And so you are allowing more people to share content. You are leveraging the viral nature of the internet. During COVID, obviously a lot more people went online. There was a lot more data being shoved around the internet and around the planet. It's actually led to a lot of brownouts to data, to networks actually just crashing. By having less data going across these networks, you are going to be reducing the stress upon these sometimes quite aging telecom networks. Finally, from my point of view, I'm an operations guy. I enjoy efficiency and speed. Using smaller files, you're going to save speed in upload, transfer times, and all those sorts of good things. So for me, there is no downside to making sure that your digital media is as small as possible.